Before today's video starts, I would just like to remind all of you that this video is not made for kids. It's for adults to enjoy too. So with that said, Merry Christmas, and please enjoy the fucking video. Well folks, we've done it. We've come to the end of another year. 2023 was honestly a really good year. Not the best year, but certainly not the worst either. I got a chance to reunite with friends online and in real life. I'm still collecting DVDs and video games more than ever. And despite a few ups and downs along the way, I've managed to overcome them with the help of my family and friends. I've got high hopes for 2024, and I look forward to spending it all with you. Another thing that I finally managed to achieve is doing reviews. As of this video, this is officially my 10th review on YouTube. I'm honestly surprised that I've managed to come this far, and I have all of you to thank for making this happen. You guys are a terrific audience. So, since we're on the last day of 2023, I'm going to change things up by not reviewing a classic series episode of Bob the Builder, but instead take a look at an episode of the Project Build It era. The Project Build It era of Bob the Builder is highly overlooked and not discussed as much. I can't understand why. While yes, it did have a mixed bag of episodes here and there, I don't think it's a bad continuation of the classic series. It still gave us some great episodes, as well as introducing new characters. I grew up with this era quite often on CBeebies, and I still rewatch the DVDs I own now and then. So today, I think it's time we give this era the love it deserves. Sadly, I couldn't find a New Year's themed episode to review, so instead, I've decided to improvise and review the last episode of Season 10, or the first season of the Project Build It era, Wendy's Party Plan. Let's end the year together, folks. Let's go. Or as Mario would say, here we go. Wendy's Party Plan is the 14th and final episode of Season 10. The team are preparing to build the Sunflower Valley Dome, with Bob putting Wendy in charge of the project since she was the one who worked the hardest with preparations. Then Wendy secretly tells the machines that she's organizing a surprise party for Bob with fireworks as the main attraction. As the team begin working on the foundations, Mr. and Mrs. Bentley arrive on Scrambler to pick the location for their new home, foreshadowing Benny's important job. Then Wendy rushes back to her caravan to call Mr. Sabatini about bringing the food to the party, but she is interrupted by the sound of the Bentleys struggling to put up their tent. Scoop quickly rushes in to tell Wendy that Bob is waiting for her, who is then put under pressure when she discovers that Mr. Bentley got the dates for the party mixed up, and then dislines his offer to help. Back on site, the pieces of the dome are all laid out and ready to be put together with the help of Lofty's suction device. During construction, Wendy desperately rushes back to make phone calls, but is shocked to see the Bentleys doing it for her, and her shock increases even more as Travis arrives with the guests from Bobsville. Then trouble arises even more when Wendy rushes back and sees that Bob hasn't left any space for the doors. Then Muck calmly tells Wendy that she's the only one who knows how to build the dome, and that she can't do everything herself, and suggests getting Mr. Bentley to help her, which is exactly what she does. Construction on the dome and preparations for the party soon get back on track, with Bob and Wendy very satisfied. And this episode comes to an end with everyone surprising Bob and watching the fireworks display. What a finale! Well, Season 10 certainly went out with a bang, didn't it? Sorry, I couldn't help that. But seriously, Wendy's Party Plan is such a good episode. Why do I think it's good, you may ask? Well, let's begin by talking about the story. This episode is unfortunately one of those plots where a character is rushing back and forth trying to do everything at once by his or herself. But I think this episode handles this plot positively compared to others. While Wendy did make the situation worse by putting pressure on herself to complete the dome and prepare Bob's surprise party, at least she didn't repeat the same mistakes Scoop made in Snowed Under, because throughout this episode, we can see that she's truly struggling to get everything done on time, but at the same time doesn't want to disappoint and let down Bob. Something SpongeBob failed to do in a certain episode I dislike. This truly shows that even our main characters, Bob and Wendy, aren't perfect either. They both have their share of episodes of them having problems too, and I love that this episode shows that within Wendy's character. Speaking of which, now let's move on to the characters by starting with, of course, Wendy. As I just said, this is one of the rare occasions where the builders are having problems and not the machines. Wendy's portrayal in this episode was rather interesting. She's pretty much normal within the first few minutes of the episode, but as soon as the Bentleys come in, she starts to get under pressured and stressed about the job and the party. No thanks to you, Bentley. And her stress increases even more as the problems keep on rising throughout the middle arc. But when Wendy does eventually ask for help, she instantly returns to normal for the remainder of the episode. The amount of stress Wendy displays in this episode is kind of similar to the season 8 episode Wendy's Big Night Out, where she goes for a similar situation. Nevertheless, Wendy's role was really good in this episode, which shows that even hard-working characters can face difficulties. And as I said before, nobody's perfect. Mr. Bentley is another character that deserves some attention too, because he too is shown to not be perfect. I don't know about you, but I died with laughter when Mr. Bentley got the dates for the party mixed up.
Good job too. That dome's a long way from being ready for the party tonight.
Tonight? The party's tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh dear. You see, I've told everyone to come today.
Oh no! Oh, Bernard!
I'm terribly sorry, Wendy.
While Mr. Bentley's mistake might have made the situation worse, he does try his best to make things easier for Wendy, despite her disliking his help. A third character who I think deserves a mention is Muck. I love how he's shown to be the supportive character since he's the one who wisely suggests to Wendy about getting help to prepare for the party. Yeah, the hyper-comedic character is the one helping the struggling protagonist. That right there is amazing, and it truly shows Muck's caring side. I first saw this episode on CBeebies, and believe it or not, I used to think that this episode was boring. Of course, my opinion has changed, and I like the episode now. I believe this episode was made just so they could shoehorn a majority of the Bobsville characters, which is also the last time that we see some of them. Well, besides Mr. Sabatini, Mr. Bentley and Farmer Pickles. A nitpick I did have with this episode though was, why did Bob keep asking Wendy for help on what to do next? I mean, he could have just read the plans himself. I'm sorry, but this irritated me quite a bit. I also found it strange how certain characters like Spud, Benny, and even Bob's mum and dad weren't present at the party. They might have ran out of space to include them. But apart from these nitpicks, this was an entertaining finale for the first season of the Project Build It era. It truly was. And that concludes my review of Wendy's Party Plan. An overused storyline done right, great selection of characters, and despite minor issues, a wonderful conclusion to the first season of Project Build It. I truly need to do more episodes where the humans are the lead characters in the future, but only time will tell for that. So with that said, I'm going to give Wendy's Party Plan a 7 out of 10. Well folks, we've officially done it. We've now looked at 10 episodes of Bob the Builder from the end of August to the end of this year. I want to take a few moments to thank you guys so much for showing your love on these reviews. I'm so glad you enjoyed them. You have no idea how nervous I was when I first released my review of Lofty to the Rescue for the first time. I actually thought people weren't going to like it at all, but you all sure proved me wrong. I can't wait to bring you guys more reviews as well as future videos to my channel in the new year, which leads me on to my next point. Stay tuned either tomorrow or January 2nd for an update video about what will be coming to my YouTube channel in 2024. You won't want to miss it. Thank you all so much for watching this last video of 2023. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Feel free to comment your thoughts on Wendy's Party Plan down below, and let me know which of my 10 reviews was your favourite. So, until next time, I'm Liam Fitzgerald, and Happy New Year! See you in 2024!